let's just boot up this. And we'll turn on cheats and spawn a bunch of stuff and have a look at stuff. So I can also demonstrate it's like what the different area of effects have and like how much damage they do to nearby stuff. This is gonna take forever to load for some reason. I really wish that could be fixed, but... Okay, that's the aircraft plant. Oh, might as well. We've got that, and we can kind of... So if we look at the area of effect on this... So that kind of gives you an idea of how big that is, and that's 84. That's only 84 area of effect. And so... and I'm gonna have to build a factory because I don't know the unit codes for these. Let's get these two. So... we can kind of see how big that is, but if we look at that, we're damaging 2 at a time. And so that's not huge, but that's part of the cost of grouping things. Right on mower T1 spam. That's hilarious. And so that's kind of the area of effect we have there. And if like... it's like, that's the thing. Like when we've got an armed fighter, like we're working with even more. It's like, see how far away that's landing? And it's still doing damage. And so, like if you're shooting like in the middle, you can like really destroy multiple at the same time. And this is why I use them on that mode always. High trash. Well, that was that. This is their other mode. And like if you look at the area of effect on that, it's nothing. Like it's not hitting it, it's going right beside. And this is why I always use that when other people are like, but it's lowered, but it's gonna miss. And I'm like, yeah, but the other one misses too. If I use the one with area of effect, it'll miss and still do damage. And so... nice. So we can do a pyro, and if we do this, see how it's destroying multiple, and we can come over here and that's only doing 1. But we can like destroy a ton at the same time, although that's not doing anything because it's not hitting. So that's actually really interesting. See how the area of effect only works if the projectiles hit something, but once they hit it, then they damage the thing beside it. Okay, or maybe it's just about how spread out it is. Maybe it wasn't about hitting. Which mode is default? I don't know. I think this mode is default. BA made the other mode default, and I think it was a mistake. They can also overshoot pretty well. So I think I just wanna just see how wide it gets at the most. And so like pyros Fiends will do more damage, or Fiends will be more effective against pawns when they're operating at further away from them because of this area of effect. Because of the spread of their weapon. Because they'll end up damaging multiple beside each other at a time. While when they're really close, like we'll bring it in here. If it's really close, it'll only damage one at a time. Although it looks like it destroys it faster. I don't think it destroys it any faster. But it'll destroy more than one at a time when it's further away. So we can do, let's do the rocket launcher. That's the area effect it's got. It's just about the size of 4 pawns, so that's actually not that bad. And so we can go into vehicles as well. And have a look at them, because okay, this is funny. The missile truck actually has a reasonable amount of area of effect. We've also got a lot more on the sorry, if we look at that with the pounder, that's huge. But that also leads to like team damage. While this is sort of what we're looking at with the Stumpy, or with the medium tank, and then with the artillery, that's the kind of thing. It does very little to the things beside it though. What was that wow for? I'm not sure, because of the delay. Yeah, let's look at the missile truck. And so, like, you can kind of go on, like, the size of that thing. Like, we'll adjust that a bit. And it's still doing damage. Oh, wow. What's the hitbox? There. Okay, part of the issue there is it's not actually hitting the ground where it's being told to hit. That's interesting. You see that? Okay, the pounder, yeah. That was pretty impressive on the pounder. Okay, now it's hitting. That's really weird. Huh. Okay. What were we gonna look at? Got no AOE on that. Let's just look at, these as well. That's 32 AOE, we've already seen that. And we'll turn the hitboxes off. So, the Bulldog is actually really good about spam. It's like, if we see, like, that's huge, and it's a very mobile unit too. So the speed difference here we've got is 84 on these, and 65 on that. So it's only like a, 20% speed difference? 25%? Actually, wait, no. 65 to 84. That's probably about a 30% speed difference. Can someone check that? Right. We've got a pretty big area effect on the Merle as well. Okay. I also want to complain about something else. Yeah, is this? No, the lightning turret doesn't have area of effect on the Panther. Okay. And we're looking at 60 AOE for this, which is a little less than the Bulldog. Okay, that's okay because that has accuracy issues. Except what? No, it's consistently hitting that? Okay, so this unit consistently undershoots. That's wonderful. Okay, overshoot. Maybe it was just luck then. But boy, is it so painful when it just undershoots. I didn't see the Merle. I've never really found a good way to use Merle. But against like static forces. I think vehicles are criminally underused at the moment. I tend to not use them because T1 is a thing. T1 vehicles I don't like. Like you see that. Let's give it more to kill. Oh wow, that's a lot more. Okay, where was that construction aircraft? But you can see the size of that explosion. Unfortunately, their fire rate is so slow, and they're so expensive. It's an ambassador, not Merle. Name change. But I was also going to make a point about these and these. Okay, let's just do that. It's probably gonna miss. Okay, it missed. That hit. There we go. So we see the area of effect there on the core. On the arm. Okay, interesting. 67 and 78. So that's actually a reasonable area of effect. But yeah, they're not accurate. Let's look at core T2 vehicles as well. Is there anything I've missed? I don't think I did ARM T2 K-bots. Let's go. We won't do the tremor. Here's the Banisher. Yeah, I've got a Goliath out. I didn't see that, so I'll do that again. So that's a really good area of effect on a Banisher. This is a Goliath. And let's just see that again. So if someone's massing against you, core actually has really good area of effect stuff. Core vehicles. Like that, this isn't as impressive as the Bulldog, but it's still reasonable area of effect. And just for a reminder, this is what the Bulldog is. And the Tiger. So the Tiger can only like realistically hit two beside each other, while the Bulldog can do a lot more. Yeah, Golly is insane. We've done the Banisher. Let's. Is this the same area of effect as the arm? We'll just watch that and we'll see the arm. Yeah, that looks like the same area of effect. There's our ambassador, and it's the same area of effect. Do they have the same fire rate? Where's the fire rate? 18 seconds and 16 seconds. So your negotiator's got a lower fire rate, which is cool. And they've got the same damage per second. It's not huge. I'd really rather seeing a much lower fire rate on the negotiator. We've got 8 seconds on the Arbiter, which is the K-Bot rocket launcher, and it's again got about the same damage per second. Oh, the range isn't very different either. Huh. I guess it's really an area of effect difference between them. I guess that's the big cost difference. Because we've got 600, 800, and 900. Okay, that's reasonable. I remember the vehicle rocket launchers costing a lot more. There's also something. They've also got the higher burst, which is nice. Of like 1700 versus 800, so. Did we do the artillery? Probably. That should be the same as... Oh, that's got a shooting issue. Why isn't that firing? Huh. There we go, that fired. And that's actually a slightly larger area of effect. And so that's slightly better when you're dealing with that. Have I got everything? I didn't do the croc. And I'm not sure, because we've also got the turtle. That's 32. This is also 32, so they've got the same area of effect. And you can see it does a little damage to the things nearby. And that's like the same as your stout. So we'll also look at Janus. So that's 24 area effect on the stout. So again, firing between things, but if you're firing like directly at something, you're probably not going to damage the thing beside it, especially if there's a wreck in the way. Yeah, okay, you do sort of damage the thing beside it. Your Janus. Yeah. Oh, poison arrow. I forgot the poison arrow. Thank you. Okay, where is our Triton that I built? Did I build one? Turtle. Okay, I probably did build one, but I can't see it. Oh yeah, because it's a 32 AOE. And where did our Triton go? There. Yeah, again, that's the 32 AOE, which kind of hits the things beside. That's an 80 area of effect. And a high fire rate. What's the cost difference? That's 1050 and this is 750. We've got 140 DPS against 205, 575 range, and 480 range. What's our speed? 54 against 51. HP 6,000 against 4,500. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the poison arrow is increased cost makes up for its It's even got more sonar. 29.59. I feel like the turtle needs a change to just make it a little more distinct from the poison arrow. Is that what it's called? Yeah, poison arrow. Cause it seems to have just a bit too much of a disadvantage, you know? Like if the poison arrow just had a range increase and just a range and area of effect increase, maybe I'd be okay with that. But it's got a range increase, an area of effect increase, a damage per second increase of a full 30%, and the cost difference is like 30%. So it's like, and it's got it doesn't quite have a 30% HP increase though, but I think it has too many extra things and doesn't lose enough for the difference between them. That's my feeling about that. But now let's look at T3. Let's get them all over here. And all these over here. The cool thing is we actually have area of effect on the Razorback. Turtle's weapon velocity faster, which makes it more likely to hit oncoming unit. It doesn't mention that here. I just want to compare them. Yeah, I'm not sure it's enough of a difference. I think if you buffed the weapon velocity on the turtle, that might make a more tangible difference. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced there's enough of a distinction. Okay, so here's our Thor. Which, for the weapon effect, I'd actually expect that to have more of an area of effect than it does. Apparently it's 24. Oh no, wait. Apparently it's got a 24 AOE, but I'm not seeing that. So something's wrong there. Because for reference, this is 16 AOE. Oh, it's not firing. Why isn't it firing? So this is 16 AOE, and it's doing damage there. This is 24 AOE, and it's not doing any damage. Something's wrong with that stat. So the AOE on the Thor is broken somehow. Either the stat is broken or the behavior is broken. Here's our Lunkhead. That's an 80 area of effect. That's kind of huge though. We have 96 on that speaks for itself. Oh, that's actually a lot of area of effect on its cannons right there. What is that? That's 32 AOE, yeah. That's pretty good. And what's on its... I don't know how to just trigger its rocket launcher. Can we do that? But that's only 48 AOE, which would kill maybe the square of 9 or something like that. Does the AOE only work on the chain effect of Thor? I can give it some Gaia Peewees to shoot. Huh. So it does look like... It looks like the chain effect is much bigger. The chain effect is much bigger than 24 area of effect. Are those the... Huh. They're the birthers and stuff. Yeah, that chain effect is much, much, much bigger than 24 area of effect. Sorry, the stats information do not reflect the way the unit actually works. Okay, we need another Marauder. Okay, here's our Cataphract, which has 10 area of effect and 85% edge. So a lot of the other damage it's doing is on moving laser and stuff. Yeah, isn't that right? Spark range equals 125. Okay, that's not listed in these stats. So it's I'm concerned about the 24 AOE on the stats, which isn't accurately reflected in the way the unit works, because you can fire right beside a unit and it won't deal any damage to it. It only deals damage on a direct hit. And that just might be how lightning works or something, but the stats need to be... It would be best if the stats match the actual functionality of the unit. There's a Shiva. That's comparable to like a strong bulldog, which is 88 area of effect, and a bulldog's like 65, yeah. So that's pretty good on the Shiva. The rocket on the Shiva has much less. It's only 30, which is pretty small. Let's go to Juggernauts, which has 32 area of effect, which is basically that small area of effect that you've got there. Oh, this is interesting. This is a bug. We've got a headlight on the Juggernaut. I've turned headlights off, but I'm seeing one on the Juggernaut anyway. I mean, the Behemoth. That's the area of effect of a Behemoth. We've got quite some area effect on the laser and the rocket for the Krogoth, the Juggernaut. So that's 36 area of effect on the heat ray, 56 on the gas cannon, and 100 on the rocket launchers, which is pretty big. And so if you've got anything that's close together against a Krogoth, they're just gonna tear it apart. I just want to see it's like you see this is Shiva's, right? And we've got this rocket, and we're doing a bunch of damage to all the Shivas around. Like about 6% per hit. Proc Stomp is currently on and off. Okay. Is that going to okay. Let's just put everything on hold fire. Hold fire, and we'll get these to stop. I've actually got only 10 minutes before I've got to go, so okay. Okay, so this should test whether it's on and off. This looks like it's... This looks like the pawns are shooting themselves, not that the Krog is actually stomping. That would be my assessment of this. Okay, what else haven't we tested? I was going to fire the, catapult. That's about what the catapult does. Alright. So what area effect will we have on this? We've already seen Iron Bomber. We've got slightly more on the Core Bomber. It's 84 versus 90. So that's like... And I don't think anything else has area of effect that we care about. So that's our area of effects on those. Okay, so that one. Boy, that's big. So what was that? That was 84. And we have 72 on the arm. That's really hard to tell when they don't actually die. Boy, that's a huge damage difference though between the two bombers. If anyone wants to know the damage difference between the two bombers, this is the damage difference between the two bombers. Wow. Yes, I completely forgot ARM T2 K-bots. Okay, so what has area of effect here? We've got 8 on the Sprinter, which is functionally nothing. We've got 4 on the Gunslinger, nothing. 4 on the Welder, nothing. We've done the Fighter. We didn't do the Recluse. Was that fire? Was that fire? So that's kind of the area effect we're looking at. It's kind of like that, but then it misses. Actually, we should do the crawling. We'll do the crawling bombs as well. So then we've got the Fat Boy, which... So that's the Fat Boy area of effect. It's something like that. Yeah, that's what we're looking at there. And we'll bring that in from the other side. And we'll get these 2 crawling bombs. Actually, we'll do 2 of each crawling bomb. Because something else that's worth noting is like, the death explosion. Like, the self D is like twice the size, but it does damage. And so we have a much larger explosion on the self D of the crawling bomb than the yeah. So this is the cheap bomb? Wow, that does more than the arm one. 69 and 216 area of effect. And... wait, what? Oh, okay. 65 and 216, 40% edge and 40% edge. Speed 81. Speed 84. Huh. Health 400. Health 560. Okay, that's the cost difference between them. No, we won't blow that. Actually, I can't just kill it, can I? Can I just kill a unit? We're gonna need more peewees to see the explosion here. Or not. So like that's the advanced one when you self-D it. So it does 216 area of effect by default and then 240 with a much higher burst damage. Lower edge though, but overall it's still more damage at the edge than if you don't self-D it, I believe. It should be significantly more. Have I got everything now? I think I've got everything. I don't know if I did a Sheldon though. I think I did. Let's do it anyway. So there's our Sheldon. It's like, it's probably only gonna damage one, because that's like 18 area of effect. Like, if you're lucky, it'll damage a second. Alright, so I've got to head off, and I've basically covered everything. So another thing to look at sometime would be, like, the death explosions. So we've got death explosions on the Peewee, on the Pawn. We've got a bigger one on the Stout and stuff. So if you can, like, time these death explosions, like you've got 350 on the Bull. If you can make use of these, like, they're probably going to be difficult. But if you can, like, that's extra damage that you can access. What is the rate of fire on the Fat Boy? That's 6 seconds. We've got 3 seconds on the Goliath. Okay. I was gonna go, but I just want to look at this. Compared. The Goliath is slightly more expensive. Like 20% more expensive. It has 20% more range. Almost 3 times the double damage per second. What's the health? 7,000 versus 7,000, the same health. So that advantages the Fat Boy somewhat. And the Goliath is faster. And it has slightly less range. Again, I feel like there needs to be a little more special that the Fat Boy have, because 50 range isn't much. So I feel like the Fat Boy either needs to be more similar to the Goliath in terms of its damage per second, or it needs to be or it needs to be differentiated more by like having a larger area of effect or something. Because that's, yeah. Just like when we saw with the T1 bombers, it's like, if we make a mark there, and then a mark there, and then a mark there, versus a core bomber, which if we make a mark, oh, this is gonna be bad. Let's send it over here, because I want to line it up so I can actually compare. Okay, that's good enough. So we'll go like that, that, and that. So the argument in favor of the arm bomber is that it does more damage. It does damage over larger area, right? Because that's the thing that the arm bomber has going for it. It has a larger spread on its bombs. But because we have the much bigger area of effect on the shadow, that's like a negligible difference. What's its reload? They have the same reload, and the shadow only has a slightly higher burst. We also have a larger edge on the Stormbringer. But here's the thing, because it does so little damage anyway, you're going to be dropping bombs with multiple bombers anyway, so it's not a useful distinction between them. All it means is it's impossible to get the same damage density with the arm bomber as you can with the core bomber. That's the only functional difference between the two. And that's not useful for players. Yeah, like looking at the stats, like it shouldn't be that worse though. Like, because the arm bomber did almost double the damage to its targets, which must be about the area of effect. Because even with the higher edge on the arm bomber, %. I mean, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, this isn't fair because it's kind of diagonal. 1, 2, 4. So we've got a larger width on the arm bomber, but yeah, it just doesn't have the damage density. And because you can just spread out your bombers with multiple, because you're going to want multiple bombers anyway in almost every situation, it's just not useful. What's the price difference too? What are our prices? We have 145 for arm and 150 for the core bomber, and then the energy price is also slightly lower. It's a more articulated difference on the energy price, but yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this there. I should have this uploaded to YouTube sometime. Thanks everyone for watching, and if you have anything you'd like me to look at like this in the future, it's like, just let me know. You can either get in contact with me on Discord, or I have email, and that should be linked in the channel description somewhere below. That's untakenprefix@gmail.com. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you. Bye. You know what would be really cool? It's gonna take so much dev work knowing how things work, but it would be really, really cool if there was like a mini game on the loading screen. That would be funny.